Today I'm leaving Toulouse in search of knights, castles, and one of the most spectacular fortresses in Europe. And dragons, if I'm lucky enough. What is the city you must visit if you love fantasy stories of knights and medieval kings? Today I'm going to enjoy a train voyage in the middle of iconic southern France, fields of sunflowers and vineyards, to visit the largest castle and ramparts in Europe, the formidable city of Carcassonne. My lords and ladies, welcome to Tourist Vagabond. It took me almost an hour to travel from Toulouse to Carcassonne on board of a very comfortable, neat local train. It was a sunny, warm day, but the breeze over the Canal du Midi and the shadows of trees were welcoming city's visitors. The city from the beginning seems like a festive, happy one. Checking out my map to find the way to the castle, and I noticed I am inside a very symmetrical, highly structured grid pattern, the vibrant lower city, La Bastide Saint-Louis. Place Carnot is at the very center of Bastide, the new town. It is filled with green tall plane trees and red canopies. The square is surrounded by amazing architecture from centuries ago. I suspect all tables and seats of restaurants and bars and cafes are somehow pointed toward the Fountain de Neptune. The fountain feels like the center of gravity, and boy, it was relaxing to walk around it. The new town definitely worth exploring. It is full of local artisan shops and art galleries. Just like this one, an old church turned into an art gallery. I really love that here the buildings are not higher than 2-3 floors. It lets you admire the cozy architecture and enjoy the skyline. Before leaving the town for the fortress, I walked through a square Gambetta, a modern park with very modern artworks. The monument dedicated to the Resistance, fighters who fought bravely against the Nazi occupation, made me full of admiration for those whose sacrifices and efforts have contributed to the freedom of their home. A patriot recently said, "A nation who overcomes fear once will never go back to the past again." Walk out of the town toward the Pont Neuf, and there she stands. Rising above the river Aude, and the surrounding countryside stands tall on top of a hill, the largest medieval fortress in Europe. Surrounded by layers and layers of historical texture, the whole area is now known as La Cité Médiévale, the medieval city. I started my exploration from the foot of the old bridge, Pont Vieux. I walked up the Rue Trivalle, between colorful buildings. The spicy smell of food and the sweetness of southern wine was very tempting in a hot sunny day. Of course, it was not yet the lunch time. Tourists with sweat on their faces and bottles of water in their hands were everywhere. The street was like a big festivity, and the atmosphere of the street made the uphill walk much easier. Walking up these old streets toward the castle made me feel like a medieval peasant bringing tribute to his lord. As I was getting closer to this formidable fortress, I was reviewing all the stories of knights and heroes fighting the evil and dragons in my mind. These ramparts are formidable. They seem eternal and impenetrable. I was more than excited to see what is inside. The gate I'm entering is eastward and facing the city Narbonne. Therefore, it is called Porte Narbonnaise. It is impossible for me to walk through this gate and do not think of myself as a knight suited in full steel armor. There is something magical about visiting this formidable, huge fortress. I cannot describe how huge these walls appear to a visitor and how tiny a man seems compared to this huge gate. I was really overtaken by the greatness of this place. This remarkable construction was only possible to be built by the cooperation and togetherness of many different people during many generations. What humans can achieve by working together is remarkable. I passed through the gate and entered La Cité, the city, a narrow road up to the castle. Here you can find all different kinds of shops, from gift shops to candy shops, from local farmers' products to knights' costumes, from wine and cheese shops to tattoo parlors. Crowded and colorful, this road felt not much different from what you expect from a real medieval city. Next to a friendly square full of restaurants sit the castle and ramparts. You need a ticket to go inside, and I was not going to stand in that line for hours. A practical tip: if you don't want to make the mistake I made, book and buy your tickets online on the official website beforehand, unless you have to wait in that line under the summer sun. So I continued walking around the rampart to have another adventure. Behind these fearsome walls is the castle, Château Comtal. Next time, I'm going to buy tickets online and visit inside the castle. For now, just some selfies. And we continue our exploration on these grand walls around the castle. This place is huge and vast. Every direction you walk, you find amazing stuff. I was on the west side of the fortress and constantly checking the sky to make sure no dragon is flying over my head. I guess this side of the fortress is attractive for photographers. At this height, from over these walls, you have an open, wide perspective in front of you. I kinda carelessly tried to have a look at what lies under. An old church, very Mediterranean rooftops matching with the green leaves, and at distance a shadow from the mountains, which are the last stretches of the Pyrenees mountain. Before walking to the Renaissance part of the city to have some refreshments, I headed to the westernmost part of the fortress to visit yet another formidable gate, Porte Narbonnaise. Visiting the medieval rampart was done, and I wanted to visit the Renaissance part of the city. But since there's a little boy inside us all, I had to walk over the walls. It was awesome. You should do it too. My visit to the largest fortress in Europe was almost done. The last stop was the Basilica and the Renaissance part of the city. Surrounded by these huge stone constructions, I now understand why Carcassonne is so impressive. Few places I visited have left such a strong impression on me. The vastness of this fortress, the length of the walls, and overall geographical situation of the fortress are mind blowing. And that is not it. The city offers much more to a tourist. The basilica, for example, is itself an amazing example of architecture. I think Carcassonne is one of the most underrated tourist destinations in Europe. I could hardly spot international tourists here, although I can easily rank this formidable city at my top 10 places to definitely go back again to explore more deliberately. I was leaving Carcassonne and I was thinking how little I know about the history of this area. I should fill this gap as soon as I get home. Carcassonne reminds me why I travel, why I love traveling. Some places teach you history, some places make you feel history. Thank you for watching my travel vlog. My adventures continue. Please subscribe to my channel for new videos every week. You may also follow us on social media.